Question of the week. What percentage chance do you give the Orlando Magic to beat the Boston Celtics in a playoff series? Let me know in the comments below. The Warriors are playing the Houston Rockets in the first round of the playoffs, baby. I am stoked about this. The season was teetering on a knife's edge, and they clutched it. We're playing Houston, and this is the best case scenario out of the few that were left in the past few days. Didn't want them to play the Lakers. That would have really hurt my heart, tugged at my heartstrings to see one of my favorite players go out of the playoffs at the hands of the other favorite player. I did not want them to have to play another game this week to get the honor to play Oklahoma City in the first round. That would not have been good. And now we beat Memphis. We're playing Houston. And if last night was any indication of how the Warriors are going to step up, I think we have a good shot. Well, how did we get here? I'm recording on Wednesday morning, and last night the Warriors played the Grizzlies in San Francisco. Got my little San Francisco mug here. I didn't really show much, but they played last night, and it was a wild game full of people stepping up, injuries, atrocious calls, and it all came down to the last possession, sort of. To set the stage for last night's game, it was pretty much win or your season is over. And it felt like in the beginning of the game that the Warriors had all the pressure. They're the team with championship aspirations. They're the team that is at home. And the Grizzlies, they had been playing terribly for the last 3 months of the regular season. And I don't think anyone thought that they were going to win the chip this year. So they're kind of playing with house money, and they were in the position to play spoiler for the Warriors and kind of ruin their season. So it felt early on like the Warriors had all the pressure, and it kind of showed in the beginning. The Grizzlies went out to an 11-2 start, and you can tell you can tell how like dire it looked in the beginning because I was watching the game with my parents and my mom. It's there's literally 9 minutes to go in the first quarter, and my mom saying there's a lot of time left, basically trying to calm herself down because the Warriors got off to such a terrible start. Um, but before we knew it, it was 13-11. Warriors are back within two. But really, the Grizzlies just came out hot. They made their threes in the beginning. I think they were 3 of 4 for their first couple threes, and I knew that that shooting percentage would uh, cool down a little bit. So I didn't want to overreact in the beginning, but it was scary. It was like, oh, are the Warriors going to really like live up to the moment right now? Um, Jimmy Butler, he was the best player on the floor last night. He was the source of offense for the Warriors, and he was doing it in such a variety of ways. Number one, he took 2 3-pointers in the first quarter. They were, I think, between Jaren Jackson Jr. and Zach Edey, they were just playing off him. And that, Jimmy had all the time in the world to set his feet, get his shoulders square, and take shots. And he made his first 2 3s, which we sometimes don't even see Jimmy Butler take 2 3s in a game. And he made those two, and I think it really got him going. But then he has the ball down to that like Carmelo Anthony like mid post, and whether he has a guy on his back or he's facing up, he was just getting by guys, getting right into the middle of the lane. He's either finishing, getting fouled, or he would kick it out. Like there's one where he kicked it out and Quentin Post hit a big three. He hit a couple this game. But Jimmy was really the head of the snake for the Warriors offense. And it was awesome to see. Um, yeah, I felt bad for Zach Edey because there's no way you're gonna stay in front of Jimmy Butler. And the thing with Jimmy, when teams guard him like that, they let him have the 3-point shot. Not only do you not guard him on the three, you're letting him get a 2 to 3 step running start at your defender. And if you're guarding him with a big guy who can't move his feet that well, he's getting right by it. And I mean, even if it's not a big guy, you're giving him that running start, he's gonna get by. He's gonna put his body into you, knock you off balance, and he's gonna go up. So it was awesome to see him. I did a podcast a couple months ago, 2 months ago, with pros and cons about Jimmy Butler coming to the Warriors. And I was a little bit afraid that he was okay with coming to the Warriors just because they were going to pay him. But between his press conferences about like how happy he is, how much he likes playing with Steph Curry, how much the team is a team and how close they are together, and seeing his play last night, I'm feeling very optimistic about this. And yeah, I mean, people were pointing out in the game against the Clippers on Sunday, he bumped knees with Kawhi Leonard or did something. And dude, those like dead leg injuries, I had one that I got in a soccer game. No, it was in a basketball game. Put me out for 3 weeks. I couldn't even walk right. And he's balling the next, I mean, within 48 hours, he's playing again. So I was just super happy about him. And his effort was there too. He was getting offensive boards, um, playing great defense. So the Warriors got back on the horse. Jimmy was a source of offense. And it was great because it let Steph actually get some rest in the first half. He had a few injuries. I mean, he's dinged up. They said he had like a wrap around his shooting hand and that he was wearing a brace actually under his jersey for his back. So he's going through it. And if Jimmy is going to be handling the offensive load, that gives Steph a chance uh, to sit and rest. And I think that's a good thing for the Warriors. Like playing so well, that's great. But then at the end of the first quarter, they let up a 7-0 run. And it was like, oh man, like we had such momentum, and then Memphis just took it. And like they made a shot at the buzzer with Luke Kennard, and it was like, dude, uh, Memphis isn't going to go away that easy. But then, yeah, Jimmy Butler's cooking in the second half, and the Warriors are up by 13 at the end of the first half. In the second half, John Morant started to really do his thing. He he had a move that I've never seen in a basketball game. Now, if you're familiar with soccer, you know what a body mag is. Basically, you have a defender in front of you, you kick the ball on one side of the defender, and you run around the defender on the other side. And it's typically like you're not running straight at the goal. It's like you're at an angle and you're just putting the ball into your path so you can run around and the defender just is left in your dust basically. John Morant had a move where he went up in front of the basket. There's a player in front of him who is up with his arms up. I think it's Quentin Post. Don't quote me on that. Ja throws the ball under the defender's arms on one side. He lands while the ball is all going off the glass. He jumps to the other side of the defender, catches it. He could have even just laid it in, but he did another double pump. But he basically did a body mag off of the glass to himself. I had never seen that before. We've all seen like the T-Mac, like in Kobe, throw it off the glass to yourself, but there's typically no one in the way. And he did it around a defender, which is crazy. But so Ja was cooking in the second half, and it was Memphis got pulled it close. And it was kind of scary because the Warriors were very stagnant at that time. And like the building was quiet. People were feeling nervous. Luckily, Jimmy Butler continued his great play. He would just get to the line, kind of quell the onslaught from the Grizzlies. And he had a huge steal. Jaren Jackson Jr. went left into the middle, spun back the other way, and Jimmy was just there to basically to knock the ball loose, and he went down and dunked it. But then something interesting happened. John Morant, he's on the baseline. He goes up, and he's 3 feet in the air. He hits a floater, and then he comes down and lands on Buddy Hield's foot, and he tweaks his ankle, and it. You could tell he was in pain. And I'm thinking, damn, like not only sucks for Ja, but sucks for the Warriors. They're going to get a flagrant one called on Buddy Hield. And like that's a big momentum shifter. That's a few points. That's another possession. And for some reason, they did not call flagrant foul. And this is where I don't understand this rule because we've seen with jump shooters that even if the defender isn't intentionally trying to injure someone like Zaza Pachulia, that if they are close enough and they don't let the offensive player land, that they've been told that that's a flagrant one. And I don't like, yes, like Buddy Hield was not trying to hurt him, and but he defended the play and he was close enough to where he landed underneath Jaw's landing space. And I'm just confused about this rule because we've heard that like intention isn't a factor in this, like what it's called. So I was very surprised at that. And that was actually not the atrocious call, an atrocious reffing that I was referring to. But tell me how you feel about that, or like explain to me what I'm missing because I watch a lot of basketball. I've seen a lot of these fouls. I thought that was just a textbook flagrant. Like you got to let the guy land. And like there's a reason that they put so much emphasis on doing that is because people roll their ankle. Anyway, so Jaw's hurt. He comes out of the game, but he sits down on the bench and he's like massaging his foot. And then at one point, I mean, this was kind of like a rallying, like a moment for the Grizzlies to rally around because Desmond Bane was like making insane plays, getting away with travels. I'll get into that later. But he was knocking down a lot of threes and was really just keeping the Grizzlies in it. And I think the Grizzlies could feel like if we can keep it close and if Ja can come back, then we'll have a chance to win. And it was interesting because Ja Morant, he wasn't going back to the locker room, but he did get up and go to the tunnel, and he had like three or four trainers around him. And I mean, you could see him like he popped a pill, like probably some painkiller, and he didn't go back to the actual locker room, but he came back out onto the bench. And so I thought, okay, maybe he feels like he can gut it out for the last quarter. But then the start of the fourth quarter comes around and he's still not in. So I'm thinking, like, what's happening? I don't know what's happening with Ja. But meanwhile, Desmond Bane is continuing to keep the game close. And man, the Warriors got lucky because there was a lot of, I'd say at least two, maybe three-pointers that Desmond Bane shot that were halfway down, and they would have been huge momentum killers or gainers for the Grizzlies. But then 9:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Ja Morant comes back in and it's on. At that point, it's a game. It was like 6 point game, 3 point game, 1 point game in the fourth quarter. And that's where those Bane threes were really crucial because it was close. And Steph Curry hits two massive threes to make it 117 to 111 in favor of the Warriors. And the first three was just chef's kiss beautiful because it was Jimmy Butler, middle of the floor. He drives into the lane, kicks it to the corner to Draymond. And before Draymond even has the ball, Steph is sprinting towards Draymond. And Dre basically catches the ball, just turns, hands it off. Steph's running by him and gets it in the corner. Ooh, pump fake, defender's gone, shoots it, and it was cash. And that was, it felt like more than just 3 points because that was a beautiful connection between the three of those guys and something that we're sure to see again. So we're up 117 to 111. And then just some insane. This is where I will bring up the terrible reffing. Is someone shoots the ball on the Warriors side of the floor. There's an offense. They're going for the offensive rebound. Zach Edey goes up for the ball. Kevon Looney's by him. Moses Moody's on the other side. basically Zach Edey's like kind of off balance, but he grabs the ball and is turning, and Moses Moody gets his hands on the ball and just rips it away. And then as soon as like Moody has the ball, Zach Edey pushes him down. Moody's on the floor like with the ball in his by his chest, and they call a foul on Kevon Looney. And we're watching the replay like Looney's not even touching Zach Edey. And it gave Zach Edey two free throws. I mean, we were up by three at that point, but it it's just insane that, well, number one, this should have been our ball. It was a foul on Edey, but then they called it on Looney. And then even if you don't call it a foul there, give the Grizzlies the ball, let them determine what their own shot is going to be if they want to go for three or two. It was just insane. The refs, I could never be a referee. I just ha hate them with a passion. Sorry to all the refs out there. Um, but long story short, like Draymond Green, the Grizzlies are inbounding the ball. He commits a dumb foul on Bane, and like he contested it, but he fouled him. Like his momentum and contact into Bane made him go out of bounds. So they call a foul. Like there's 58 seconds left. Warriors are up by six, and Bane gets two free throws. Um, then the reason I say it kind of came down to the last possession is because the Grizzlies were down three. Santi Aldama had the ball. There's like what 9 seconds left or something, and the guy doesn't get the ball in within the 5 second limit, and I felt so bad for him. I mean, I like to see good basketball and like I like dramatic plays. And it would have been sick to see the Grizzlies try to get a three. And, if they had at least missed it, that would have felt all right. But felt like we were kind of robbed of a cool NBA moment. I mean, fine with me. We get the win pretty easily, but Santi Aldama, who I like a lot and seems like a good player, just uh, didn't get the ball in time, and the Warriors get the ball. Ja is of course pissed at him. I'm sure all of Tennessee is pissed at him. Not the best way to end a really important game. So I feel bad for the guy. That's going to stick with him for a few weeks, maybe more. So the Warriors win, and I'll just say Desmond Bane played really well. He had 30 points. Jimmy Butler had 38, could have been 44. He missed six free throws. He was the best player on the floor. Steph had a quiet 37, and I'm really stoked to see. I mean, Draymond only had 4 points, but he had 10 assists. Like these guys they're ready for the moment, and I'm super excited to see how they play against Houston. Um, Quick topic change to the Eastern Conference play-in, where the Orlando Magic played against the Hawks. Basically, I mean, there's a few things to discuss here, but basically, the Magic came out swinging, and I mean on the O boards. They were overwhelming the Hawks on the offensive boards, getting second chance points, and they were up in the second quarter by 22 points. And they're at home, like they have all the momentum. And then, excuse me, and then the Hawks, like it's halftime. Shaq is literally he's doing CPR on a dead hawk stuffed animal because he's saying the Hawks are dead, the game's done. And that's what it felt like. The Magic were just overwhelming them. In the third quarter, Trae Young, despite getting, I think, kind of shafted on a couple calls, was leading the Hawks back. Like it became a 6 point game, a 4 point game late in the third. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, like the Hawks might actually defy the odds here. He's displaying an incredible amount of leadership, like fighting for his guys, like not just letting go of the rope. And the team got close. And then it became the Cole Anthony Black show, baby. Uh, Cole Anthony Black. That's Cole Anthony and Anthony Black mixed together. these guys just took over the game in the second half. Combined, they had 42 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. Cole Anthony, he had a play, he was just going crazy, like finishing around the rim, assisting, knocking down huge threes. And like when the Magic were just so stagnant on offense, they had scored 10 points in the to start the second half, like in the first 10 minutes of the third quarter. Like they were doing nothing. And Cole Anthony was making things happen. Same with Anthony Black. There was one play that I loved where Cole Anthony's in the corner. He hits a massive three, and then the Hawks are on the break. Anthony sprints back and gets a deflection on a pass that was right under his own rim. And I'm thinking, this guy's just, he's locked in right now. And I was back to the Trey Young thing. I was really about to be very proud of Trey because he was willing his team back into the game. And despite some bad calls, the Cole Anthony Black show, they had a chance. And when there was like 5 minutes and 40 seconds left, I believe, when the Magic went up by 15, Trae Young basically quit on the team. It felt like he just decided, I don't want to play anymore. I'm going to be um excuse me. He's like he did something stupid to commit. I didn't know his second technical, but he just didn't give the ref the ball on and was just really pissed off and basically just walked off the court into the locker room knowing that he had been ejected. And it was so disappointing to me because it went from great leadership game from Trey to, oh yeah, never mind. It's all about him, and now he's not even going to see this through with his teammates. He's pissed, and so he can't keep his emotions together. And it's like, if you're on his team, like, how do you play for this guy? Like, how do you do all the difficult things to let him shine? It's like I wouldn't want to put 100% effort in for this dude, except for like that's how I have to get paid. It's just a bad look, and it's the reason why he's not a better player and why he's not an all-star, I mean, it's all about him. And I thought it was going to be a turning point. Maybe he's getting more mature. I was dead wrong. And yeah, the Orlando Magic are going to play the Celtics in the first round. And you know what? That's a scary matchup because Paolo Banchero can do damage from many different angles. If he's not making shots like he was last night, he's going to be finding his teammates. He's going to be rebounding. He's going to be getting to the line. Like he can make an impact no matter what's happening. The Magic have shooters. Wendell Carter Jr. is a big boy, and I think the Celtics are not going to sweep the first round. That's what I'll say. Um, but yeah, fun playing game night last night. We'll see what happens with these 9 of 10 games. I don't really care too much. They're all going to just lose in the first round, whatever happens. But awesome game. And oh, we have a playoff first round preview with a couple special guests coming up in the next few days. So subscribe to the channel if you want to get notified about that. Otherwise, have a great rest of your week. See ya.